Good evening from the Daytona International Speedway, where it's not raining here, and I think apparently in real life it's not raining either. Yeah. Either way, we're here for the first race of the Elite Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. Sorry, I'm rusty in a few days. The first truck race at Daytona was February 18th in 2000. Mike Wallace won that, and Kurt Busch finished second. Elite has had 4 different winners in 4 Daytona truck races, which is a rather interesting statistic to me. Tonight we're here for the Hopegivers International 250 presented by Bird Racing. Last season's winner of this race was Josh Personette, and the season before that was Logan Shea. Both of these guys should be in the field, I do believe. I know Josh Personette definitely is in the field. Anyway, we're here for 250 miles, 100 laps. Should be a heck of a race. Usually is. Truck races, anything at Daytona is always exciting. I'm here alone. My name is Vic Bloom, by the way. So I'm rusty. It's been a few days since I've streamed or been part of a broadcast, so just hang with me. This season, going into the truck series, the past champions aren't eligible for points, so people like Chad Frankenfield and Tyler Fody will not be eligible for points at all during the season. So I believe both of those two will be on limited schedules as a result. Just watching Vincent Isabella go around in that Bird Racing number 42 for ID Racing right now in qualifying, as these guys, the top 38 qualify in on time. And there's 46 of them here, but 43 will make the race. So 3 people will go home today for this season opener at Daytona. See right there is Rishav Kozla, who's normally a commentator and the lead man here at ERN. This past champion Tyler Fody right there on the screen. Rookie Brian Osborne making his appearance. As well, here's Logan Shea, who I mentioned before is a past winner of the Daytona truck races in this league. Got Ryan Lutz in the Old Testament Firearms, number 36 for Lake Norman Motorsports. Scott Crump going around in his Toyota number 90. Michael Goodman at the end of pit road. If I can get a good camera angle on him. That's not. And we're here for the heat race now. These guys are going to grid up and believe this is just a couple lap heat race just to set the last spots on the grid. In this race, we'll have Austin Beers, Jacob Palmer, Daniel Higgins, Kendall Noah Player, Nathan Bird, Jordan Owens, Blake Barney, and Nicholas Darter are the scheduled entries for this one. See them gridding up here at Daytona. Show you the starting grid for this, maybe, if it'll work. There we go. Yeah, got Alexander Van de Sant. I think this might be for the actual race. Yeah, it is. So not going to have a grid for this, but it's Austin Beers on pole with Jacob Palmer, Daniel Higgins, Kendall Player, Nathan Bird, Jordan Owens, Blake Barney running up the field. Running order is going to go across the top of the screen, or starting order rather will go across the top of the screen here. See, now they're rolling off pit lane, going to follow the pace truck for this one pace lap. Going to have ID Racing number 48. Well, it's supposed to be the number 19, but it's 48 in the session. Got Austin Beers up front. A lot of these guys are rookies to this series. Got Jacob Palmer, who I believe is a rookie, Nathan Bird, Blake Barney, and Nicholas Darter, I also believe is a rookie as well. So about half the field in this one is rookie drivers, and the other half are just people that probably didn't set a lap in qualifying. See him rolling off of turn 2 on this pace lap. Do have to thank Richmar Florist and C2 Freight for being on board with the ERN and the Elite Racing Leagues. So we get going for this heat race to determine the final final few spots. It's not 3, it's but just final couple spots. I think 6 maybe. I believe 3 of these guys might be going home. I don't remember the exact number. We go green flag racing here. Austin Beers out front. Jacob Palmer. Daniel Higgins getting a good line on the inside. This inside line is going to be the place to be, apparently. They sail off into turn 1. Once again, this is going to be the heat race to determine the final few spots for the Hopegivers 250. You can learn more about Hopegivers at hopegivers.org. Let's come around to complete the first lap here. Kendall Player at the line that has the lead. Austin Beers leads the inside line. Kendall Player leads the outside line. Got Daniel Higgins behind Austin Beers on the inside. Jacob Palmer on the right behind Kendall Player on the outside. Got even lines down the backstretch. Still side by side. Now the top line only has 3 and the bottom's gonna have 5. So they come around to complete lap 2. Kendall Player still leads over Austin Beers, but Beers gets the run on the inside. Still 2 by 2, now 3 by 3 as the 00 makes a move on the 05. It's 2 rookies side by side right now. They're 3 wide with rookies. Oh, and Nathan Bird accidentally puts a 39 in the wall of Jacob Palmer. And we stay green. Everybody keeps it going. Austin Beers leading with Daniel Higgins behind him. Daniel Higgins jumps to the top with Kendall Player. Five to go in this heat. So side by side, the ID Racing trucks on the inside leading that. Got Austin Beers and Blake Barney. But Daniel Higgins and Kendall Player still holding strong on the outside. Jordan Owens behind the ID Racing trucks on the inside. Still the ID racing trucks on the inside leading this. Daniel Higgins trying to use the side draft on the outside, try to help him and Kendall Player get closer, but it's just not going to be working right now. 4 laps to go still. There'll be 3 to go at the line. We go with 3 to go. I'm going to do some crank it up. We use that crank it up with 2 to go now. Still the ID Racing trucks of Austin Beers and Blake Barney leading the inside line. Jordan Owens kind of hung out to dry by himself, but Nicholas Darter going to help him on the outside, and they spin. Yellow flag's going to be out. Let's take a look at what happened right there and see if we can determine exactly the cause of that one. I believe that might have started with the 94. Let's take a look and figure this one out. It looks like the 84 and 94 got together on the backstretch. Take another look at that one. Oh, it's going to be the 45 and 94 that get together. Well, that's unfortunate for Kendall Player, but everybody's somewhat decent amount of no damage up there. I don't believe Jordan Owens is going to have any. It looks like Nathan Bird might have a touch of damage. Kendall Player has some damage on the rear. I guess the 45 of Jordan Owens has some left side damage. But I do believe they'll be fine. It's just going to be a few more laps left in this heat to determine who gets into the truck race and who does not tonight. Of course, none of this is possible. I will use this time now to thank some of our sponsors like C2 Freight. C2 Freight offers complete freight management services, and they're ready to meet your needs today as well as changing your needs in the future. With thousands of qualified carriers in the database, they're capable of handling shipping for every type of good, from perishable foods to office equipment. Whatever you need to ship, they have access to necessary equipment, including flatbeds, double drops, vans, tankers, refrigerated equipment, multi-axe heavy haulers, dump trucks, auto carriers, and many more options. And Richmar Flores, who served the Lehigh Valley and have been serving the Lehigh Valley and beyond since 1955. They've grown into one of the most recognizable floral names in the racing world. Richmar offers delivery around the country or around the world. Or around the corner and around the world, sorry. Also have to give a shout to Hopegivers International. Hopegivers International promotes advocacy for abandoned and at-risk children in the nations of India, Nepal, Myanmar, and Haiti. Their mission is to assist the needy and oppressed in collaboration with our ministry partners. They need to educate those, or they want to educate those we rescue and give them an opportunity to impact their culture in a positive way. thank our sponsors, as well as Old Testament Firearms, who pledge to honor God in the provision of quality firearms, accessories, and here at the best value possible with customer service that goes beyond expectations. So our sponsors for the night. We have to thank them for being a part of this. So we see Austin Beers still leading under this caution. I believe they're probably 2 to green, and I don't believe these caution laps are counting, but they very well could be. Let's see. Looks like Beers is going to select the outside with Barney to the inside. So ID Racing teammates trying to figure out team strategy that's going to win them this heat. So I'm actually going to use this time to play the Richmar commercial.
Richmar Florist makes every day a special day, from weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
The brake rotors glowing on the 48 truck of Austin Beers. But it is going to be a front row lock for ID Racing on this restart with Austin Beers and Blake Barney. See the pace truck pull off, a green flag back in the air. So ID Racing trucks figure out the restart by themselves. Very ARCA-esque right there. 2 laps to go in this heat. Daniel Higgins and Nicholas Darter, sorry, are making a run to the outside. Nicholas Darter to the outside. Doesn't look like he has any help. He had help from the 50 momentarily, but that help faded. See the 50 and 94 going to mount a run on the outside as well. Try to qualify themselves a little higher in this field. Come to the white flag of the heat. Austin Beers still leading this with Blake Barney behind him. Daniel Higgins and Kendall Player to the outside. Still trying to make a run down the backstretch going into 3. The 84's multiple catches right there. It's going to be close finish, but Austin Beers takes the win in the heat. I believe top 5 or top 6 made the race, but I do not recall the exact number. Actually, it looks like Daniel Higgins is going to be scored as the winner. It looked like Austin Beers at the line, but it is going to be Daniel Higgins that is going to take home the win in the heat. So we now wait for the main event to start. The big race. The cars gridding up, or trucks rather, gridding up Just wait for everybody to grid up here. It is going to, I will show you the starting grid. And it is Alexander Vandesant and Zishan Dura, on the, that is not what I wanted, on the front row. And Michael Goodman and Dustin Dewar were locking out the second row. That's a Do Good Motorsports lockout. Jeff Green and Craig Arvanites. Ryan Barbaria and Jeffrey Sickles. Kyle Walgren and Connor Hazel. Tyler Dixon, Scott Haney. Tyler Fody, Scott Crump. Tristan Wood, Tate Lytle. Corey Abbott, Chuck Sweeting. DJ Gerard and Zach T. Evans on the 10th row. And we'll look at the rest of the starting grid for this, the Hopegivers 250 at Daytona. Of course, Hopegivers, great organization. If you want to check them out, you can go to hopegivers.org and find out more information about them and even donate there. Got Daytona 500 winner Matthew Weeks way in the back here, starting in 27th. Got Rishabh Khosla, who's normally on commentary for these type of events, and Ryan Lutz, who will be driving the 36 truck sponsored by Old Testament Firearms. So these last rows here. See Blake Barney going to round out the field. We get ready to go racing. Alexander Vandesant brings them to the line. And green flag is in the air. It's a good jump on the whole field. Zishan Dura going to get a good jump on the outside as well and get down to the inside. See the field just spreading out already a little bit. Still side by side for a first bunch. Got a bunch of guys on the apron in the back there. A lot of those guys do not want to be involved in an incident early, and I certainly can't blame them. Let's take a lap to crank it up. Green to the top with those two good guys behind him. And they're going to go 3 wide. With the 6 truck on the top of Zach T. Evans. Got Tate Lytle in the 56. Tate, of course, has not had the best of luck in recent weeks at Daytona. In just about every league he's been a part of, he has been involved in something pretty bad, and hasn't really finished good at all this week or last week as well for any of the Speedway events. Just got Jeff Green though mounting up on the outside, C2 Freight, number 38. But it's still Alexander Vandesant by a nose leading over Jeff Green. He's got Zishan Dura and Craig Arvanites behind him. That top line gonna shuffle out the 32. We come around to complete lap 4. Still Alexander Van de Sant qualified on pole. That leads this one. Pushing pretty hard up front. A reminder that there's 43 trucks on track. Let's take a ride on board with the 78. See what he's seeing out of these front few. So side by side, he just kind of has to acknowledge there's nowhere really to go right now. They're side by side up front for the lead. Jeff Green and Andrew Van de Sant, Alexander Van de Sant. Still side by side for the lead. Coming around to complete lap 6. Been a fairly good start for everybody so far. Still side by side for the lead. Side by side for as long as you can tell. For at least the top 17 are side by side right now. Still Alexander Van de Sant out front with Zishan Dura pushing him. Seeing Tate Lytle get shuffled out using the top line. He gets in line there, 5th in line. It's going to be 10th place. Slowly but surely, these guys are going to try to figure out how to get to a point where they don't have to be side by side, but still side by side, even up front for the lead again. Door to door down the backstretch. A little further back, we've got more side by side, but in the back you see, like where the 11 is, Brody Moore in 21st. He's kind of just barely hanging on to that lead pack. Drivers like R.C. Anderson now including themselves in this pack as well. Do have a really cool story about that 44 truck that is painted by his young family member Eli, that he came up with the color scheme and design for it. Pretty cool to see things like that. Of course, he's sponsored by Old Testament Firearms in this series, which is the series sponsor. Jockeying around positions. Still Alexander Van de Sant that leads this though. Seems like that top just cannot get a run on the bottom. They get to the lead area and they just stall out. Different perspectives here. Let's take a look at what they're seeing just outside of the pack. Already more catching the pack. Craig Arvanite's now going to take a spin at leading the top line over Jeff Green. See if maybe he can get the top line rolling. Craig Arvanite's to the lead over Alexander Van de Sant. Down the backstretch. Kenny, hold on. Side by side out of 4. Coming into the tri-oval. Leading that lap will be Craig Arvanite. Of course, these guys are only racing to lap 20 when the stage ends. These guys are running lap 20, lap 40, and then the end will be the stages this evening. Arbanite still has the lead, just barely over Alexander Van de Sant. Van de Sant back to the lead out of 2. Arbanite's not having any of it. Hotly contested up front. As the pack starts to fall apart a little bit farther back, but they're still side by side. See in the background, you can see Blake Barney, who moved his way all the way up from starting dead last in this race. Blake Barney about halfway through the field already. Jeff Green gonna drop to the bottom. Second time in the race that he's dropped to the bottom. But will he use it to try to propel himself in front of Arvanites on the outside, as Arvanites did to him? Doesn't look like that's going to be the case at the moment. Take a look at these guys from the spotter stand. See what a spotter would have seen in real life. See them going in to turn 1 and 2. Van de Sant leading over Zishan Dura and Connor Hazel. Zishan Dura goes to the top, gonna lead this lap over Alexander Van de Sant as they get closer to the stage end. 4 to go in the stage. Dura back down to the inside there. Arvanite still leading the outside then. But Tyler Dixon making his way up through the field. A lot of these guys are going to be where did you come from type drivers. From the back to the front, a lot of these guys are going to want to be. Zishan Dura and Alexander Van de Sant making that inside work over Arvanites and Goodman on the outside. Dewar and Rucker behind Goodman trying to make this whole outside line work. They got Lytle and Anderson as well. And Van de Sant moves to the top. Oh, and sideways, but he saves it. Connor Hazel. We're going to stay green. I do not believe there's going to be any accident caused by that. The Dewar getting the wall up front. Still Van de Sant that leads. That was DJ Gerard, I believe, that was in the wall that time. Side by side, last lap in the stage. Guys want to collect as many stage points as possible. Stage points can win and lose this championship. Van de Sant with the help from Jeff Green and Andrew Rucker. But the outside seems to have more help. But can they get to him before the line? It's going to be Van de Sant that wins the stage, and the caution's out. Hotly contested stage one there between Alexander Van de Sant, Jeff Green, Zishan Dura, Craig Arvanite, and many, many others. Very, very exciting stuff here from Daytona in the Hopegivers 250.
Richmar Florist makes every day a special day, from weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
Take this caution to thank our sponsors: Old Testament Firearms, C2 Freight, Richmar Florist, and Hopegivers International. All of this stuff tonight wouldn't be possible without any of them on board. Of course, Old Testament Firearms being the series sponsor, C2 Freight and Richmar being league sponsors, and Hopegivers International being the race sponsor tonight. all of this wouldn't be possible. We'll probably see them come down pit lane during this caution period, get some new tires maybe, get some gas. Sure, we'll see a varied amount of strategies coming in this one. I was going to try to grab the stage winner, but it does not appear he's in Discord, which is unfortunate. It is Alexander Van de Sant that won the stage. Looks like Josh Personette going to play some good strategy, get himself up front. And at number 18, SMRI Productions Chevrolet for PRC Esports. Of course, he's going for back-to-back Truck Series Daytona wins. He's looking to be the first repeat Daytona winner for the Elite Truck Series. Supposed to have an in-race reporter, but he did not make the race, unfortunately, this evening. So let's see if I can dial up anybody. See if I can get anybody to chit-chat under this caution. So looking at the people in Discord, does not appear as though I'm going to get anybody that I would like to chit-chat with. Throw one to green anyway, so it would have been bad timing. On this restart, we're going to have Alexander Van de Sant, Zishan Dura, Jeff Green, Craig Arvanites, Andrew Rucker, Tyler Dixon, Michael Goodman, R.C. Anderson, Tony Edmondson, and Kendall Player in the top 10. You also got Logan Shea, Jeffrey Sickles, Zach Evans, Brody Moore, Jordan Owens, Corey Abbott, Scott Haney, Alec Balvans, Ryan Barrier, Barbier, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, the 46 truck, and Austin McCurdy in the 30 truck, rounding out the top 20. So we get ready to go green again. Here's a round turn 3 under this caution. So far this race has been hotly contested up front and just about everywhere else too. Let's keep it very, very clean this evening. Truck going to pit lane. I do believe that might be Scott Crump. Green flags back in the air for Alexander Van de Sant. None this lap. Let's crank it up once more. As he is Jeff Green out front of Alexander Van de Sant. It's a hotly contested opening lap to the stage. Van de Sant going to try the outside on Jeff Green. Jeff Green will have Michael Goodman behind him in the 44 for Do Good Motorsports. Of course, Andrew Rucker going to be the one pushing Van de Sant to the lead on the outside. Or at least attempting to get the lead on the outside. But Rucker pulls out a line, going to try to go 3 wide. Rucker will have R.C. Anderson behind him. 2 Fords on the outside. Van de Sant on the inside, in the center with Zishan Dura. 3 wide here at Daytona. They get back 2 wide. It's still Jeff Green and Alexander Van de Sant. Dura gonna help Van de Sant once more on the outside. Just like when they were on the inside, these two gonna stick together most of this race, it appears. At least the first half the first part they've stuck together. Rucker all over the place. Can't really decide where he wants to be. Decide whether he wants to be on that middle lane or if he wants to go all the way up top. It's going to be Van de Sant dropping down in front of Jeff Green. Going to leave Dura to lead the outside line. Rucker behind him and R.C. Anderson behind that, with Arvanites behind Anderson. Bottom line still generating plenty of momentum. Top line trying to generate momentum as well. As Andrew Rucker and R.C. Anderson go past the 0-8 of Zishan Dura. Zishan Dura in the center going to get sucked back in the sucker hole. I believe Arvanite's actually high dry up there. But he gets back in. Now it's Rucker leading the outside line over Van de Sant. Rucker and R.C. Anderson making him out for the lead. Oh, sideways, still keeping it going. Need to be careful with these pushes. '56 truck about to get lapped with Tate Lytle. Tate showing the effects of some damage, clipping the wall ever so slightly down the straightaway. They go past him. Still Van de Sant that leads though. A little farther back with the 30 truck making its way up. Austin McCurdy for ID Racing. So the majority of the ID Racing trucks still run. Zishan Dura has fell all the way to 7th from at one point leading this thing. Rucker still leading the high line with Van de Sant on the inside for the lead. So it's very side by side, side drafting and everything. Coming to the end of lap 31. Andrew Rucker gonna take the lead and lead this lap. R.C. Anderson helping him out. Still side by side. About 16 deep. Jeff Green pushes Van de Sant clear. Will he move to the top and try to get the lead himself? That's going to be the case. Still just sticking to the inside line with Van de Sant. Ford teammates, the 99 and 6. R.C. Anderson and Andrew Rucker. .38 and 27 once more clear of the outside. Darcy Anderson probably got hot behind Rucker. No longer the outside line for Rucker. Rucker's going to be in the center. So far, it's been a clean race this evening. 34 laps in. So we, of course, approach the end of stage 2. It'll be lap 40 when the end of the stage happens. So just a few more laps until that. Towards the back of the pack, you see ID Racing trucks, the 9 and 00. With the 30 as well of McCurdy, also back there. Rucker back to the lead, R.C. Anderson helping him out, Arbonites as well. They just cannot get Rucker clear of Van de Sant on the inside. See McCurdy in the back making moves as he goes to lap Tate Lytle. Tate hanging on to this lead pack draft, of course. Approach the end of the stage. Gonna have Van de Sant and Jeff Green once again pushed way out front, or not way out front, but slightly out front, as we see Zishan Dura gonna make a pit call and go to pit lane. That could be a bold strategy. See how that one plays out for him. Rucker to the top, trying to make the lead again with R.C. Anderson pushing him. Side by side for the lead. See the 00, Blake Barney in the wall there. Stay green though. Very tight side draft from the 6 of Rucker. Rucker is very intent on trying to get that lead. go in the stage. Of course, stage is completion of lap 40. Huge pack of cars, or trucks rather. Oh, Van de Sant's around into RC Anderson, and everybody's spinning. Caution. Oh no. Let's take a quick look back at that and see what happened. Rejoin him here on the backstretch. Take a look at the chopper. I know Alexander Van de Sant was at the head of this. Oh, just side draft gone wrong by Rucker, and everybody just piles in this lead pack. It might be easier for me to tell you who wasn't involved. Just an unfortunate accident to occur. Take another look back at what happened. Let's take a different camera angle here. This is down the backstretch into 3. It's just side draft gone wrong right there by Andrew Rucker. Just spins Van de Sant out. RC Anderson gets involved. And Calamity behind them. Looks like the 32 and 11 gonna escape that without any damage. I think the 9 as well might have escaped that one without any damage. Let's take a look. Let's take a ride on board with the 9 truck. See if he doesn't indeed get through this. Oh, ever so slight damage. But for the most part, gets away unscathed. But it is Jeff Green that's going to get the lead out of this. Just some real unfortunate luck by everybody. The first big one occurring at the end of stage 2. Of course, Jeff Green going to be the winner of stage 2 with R.C. Anderson, Michael Goodman, Austin McCurdy, Brian Osborne, Brody Moore, Blake Barney, Vincent Isabella, Austin Beers, and Jordan Owens. Rounding out the top 10, I do believe those will be the 10 that receive stage points. So you see Jeff Green out front of this one. I do want to thank C2 Freight for their involvement with ERN and the Elite Racing Network. Of course, they offer multiple services at C2 Freight Resources. They have regular services and EDI services. Their EDI services is they offer electric data intercharge services, which allow shippers to keep close electronic tabs on their shipments throughout the freight movement process. For more information about their EDI services or to discuss your needs, please contact C2 Freight. See, some people took this chance to take a pit stop, but not Jeff Green. Jeff Green says no thank you. Zishan Dura says, well, thank you very much. I will take this, and I will retake second place up here. Brody Moore scored as the leader currently, but I do believe that might be incorrect. Yeah, it's definitely incorrect. It's definitely Jeff Green. Just gonna step away for a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Richmar Florist makes every day a special day, from weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
Join you here, and they're coming through 3 and 4. They went all the way down the backstretch under this caution during that commercial break. Of course, now this is going to be toward the end of the race. They can stay green for the entire 60 laps, or they can crash a few more times. I do believe they have 1 green white checkered if they need it as well at the end of the race. Only 5 on the top lane. Green flag back in the air. And as should be customary, I'm going to crank it up. See Dustin Dewar leading the outside line now with Zishan Dura. Gonna be a 32 of Dustin Dewar. Gonna lead this lap maybe. Here maybe he did lead that one. There's still Jeff Green leading the inside line. Come out of 4 here on lap 45. Pretty close to halfway now. It's the Hopegivers 250 from Daytona. Single file, the first 3, Jeff Green, Matthew Weeks, Zishan Dura. This is where the battle is, though. For 4th place, got Josh Person out on the inside, Dustin Dewar to the outside, Vincent Isabella back there in the bird racing number 52, or 42, sorry. Top line just cannot get any help. So it's going to be Personette and Logan Shea going to the outside to help Dustin Dewar out. Gonna mount a run to the front now. Side by side into the tri-oval, but it's not going to be enough. It's still going to be Jeff Green at the line leading this. Just need a little bit more help to the outside to help these guys out. See Logan Shea and Josh Personette. Josh Personette going to be able to drop to the bottom and get the lead as they lap R.C. Anderson. Now Dustin Dewar and Vincent Isabella on the outside, and Logan Shea in the lead on the inside. Somebody dropping to the apron. That might have been the 14 of Matthew Weeks. It's 32 and 42 leading the outside. Former Do Good Motorsports teammates, no longer Do Good for Vincent Isabella, as he's went off and started ID racing with Shane DiMantova, who couldn't make it tonight due to it being Valentine's Day. Dustin Dewar tries to drop, but that's just not possible. Needs a little bit more help from Vincent to be able to do that. He's gonna push him all the way down the backstretch. Oh, and Dustin Dewar gets sideways. They save it, they hang on, and they keep going. See now Josh Personette going to the outside. Personette going to try to pull the 32 up front, or just get himself toward the front. Try to retake this lead from Logan Shea. They go 3 wide down the backstretch with the 44 and 30 that are getting lapped. Personette does retake the lead, but that helps the 32 of Dustin Dewar and the 42 of Vincent Isabella side by side for the lead with Dewar and Personette. Out of 4, Dewar just gets sideways ever so slightly. Halfway through this one. Vincent Isabella going to lead the outside line with Scott Haney behind him. The top 3, top 4 now. 5 breakaway on the inside, but Vincent Isabella is not content with riding on the inside. It doesn't appear. He doesn't look like he wants to stay there. He wants to make a run on the outside. He wants to lead the charge to the front. Let's take a ride on board with the 42 and see what he sees. See, he's going to try to make a run. Personette's going to try to block. Vincent Isabella side by side for the lead. With all the help in the world, and he clears Personette. Goes down to the bottom and takes the lead. It's going to be Vincent Isabella, new leader. New leader, though, Vincent Isabella in that bird racing number 42. And you got Josh Personette on the inside also helping him out. Josh Personette, of course, being the defending Daytona Truck Series winner from last season. And behind Personette, of course, you got Logan Shea, who won the 2020A Daytona season opener. Or Daytona Truck Race, sorry. See the 3 truck now. Scott Haney gonna clear the 42 ever so slightly, but not gonna be able to go down in front of him. He's got the 72 truck helping him out of Tony Edmondson. Side by side into the tri-oval with the 3 and the 42 for the lead. And at the line, it's gonna be Vincent Isabella. So side by side, multiple rows back. Got the 50 truck Daniel Higgins make another run to the front. Of course, he was up front early on, and now he's mounting the charge back to the front. He also has Kendall Player in front of him. Those two were helping each other out earlier, and they're helping each other out now. Looks like they're very, very committed to working with one another. Of course, the 42 truck of Vincent Isabella has been working with just about everybody throughout to get through this field. From help from his teammates at ID Racing to just random help like Scott Haney and Dustin Dewar. Look at the top 14 are going to be side by side still. Name I haven't mentioned all too much. Leading the second pack is David Westergreen in that number 2 truck. He's got Tyler Fody behind him. Of course, David Westergreen commentates the Wednesday Cup Series, Tuesday Series, and races on Mondays, as well as on Sundays. So David Westergreen holding his own. He's got in front of him is Rishabh Khosla, who again is a normal commentator for this channel. And another commentator in this field is Jordan Owens. Still Vincent Isabella that leads though. Take a look back from Jordan Owens on board. Or rather his nose, and let's see what he sees. See how condensed that pack looks. They're still side by side up front. Scott Haney gonna try to mount another charge to the lead. He's gonna clear Vincent Isabella and drop down, and new leader is gonna be the 3 truck of Scott Haney. That home place beer entry for Do Good Motorsports. Oh, Vincent Isabella gonna make a charge to the center. He's gonna have Kendall Player to help him. The 72 of Tony Edmondson's gonna get left out to dry. It's going to be 42, 94, 50 on the outside. 3, 18, 33 on the inside. 72 going to drop behind the 50 on the top. Like the 38 of Jeff Green going to make a pit stop. Might have said he's seen enough and had enough entertainment for the night, maybe. Leading the top now, Vincent Isabella. He is clear of Scott on momentum, I do believe. No, he's not, as it turns out. I believe he's going to be clear now into 3. But Kendall giving a heck of a shove down the back stretch to Vincent Isabella. And Vincent Isabella back to the lead over Scott Haney. This guy's really showing the outside line can work, and he's going to pull the Dale Jr. He's going to block both lanes. See the 18 Josh Personette, he's had enough excitement. That or he is just ducking out because he needs the air on his nose. It's a 2-truck breakaway, but the 94 and 50 gonna dump the 42 and leave him high and dry. Maybe Kendall Player to the lead now with Daniel Higgins behind him. Scott Haney to the inside. Vincent Isabella high, wide, and handsome with no help. The next help behind Vincent, is now the do-good guys are going to help him out. The 3 and 32. The help behind them is the 89 and 5, but they're quite some ways back and unable. Haney back to the lead. With help from Vincent Isabella, but Vincent Isabella's not going to give it to him. Still says, I want that lead, and I'm going to take it. Thank you very much, sir. Side drafting out of 4. Oh, they're coming up on some lap traffic. This could get hairy. And all the lap traffic does go to the top, and it's Vincent Isabella that leads. Catching Jeff Green, who pitted. Jeff had to pit because he stayed out under the caution for the stage break. Of course, there's only been 2 cautions this evening, and they've been at the end of both stages, but the second stage saw a crash happen to end it. Side by side, Kendall Player, Vincent Isabella for the lead. Again, as fun as that is to talk about and exciting and stuff, I do want to talk about the fact that that second pack is still led by David Westergreen. Westergreen, of course, has Fody behind him, pushing him around. 2-time champion, as his truck states. Still side by side though for the front. Dewar to the inside. With help, he'll have help from Vincent when he gets to him. 72 indecisive where he wanted to be. Gonna decide he wants to help Vincent out, push Dewar to the lead. But it's Kendall Player that does lead this thing on the top with help from Logan Shea and Daniel Higgins. Lap 64 now, lap 65, sorry. Still green and have been green for quite some time now since it's the end of the stage, or the start of this final stage rather. We've been green. So 94 and 33 getting kind of out there on the top line. 50 gonna try to follow. These two gonna try to lead this pack to determine where everybody goes. The 50 gonna go to the middle. Oh, that's gonna be a wreck. And everybody involved Oh, just an unfortunate incident there. So it looked like too many people suffered too big damage. It was the 50 of Daniel Higgins that got spun. Let's take a look back at it. Is it not gonna? It's not gonna work. I don't know what just happened. There we go. Let's try this again. Let's take another look at that. Oh, it's not going to let me take a look at it. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't know what is going on with the replay cameras, but it's just not going to let me take a look at that, and that's just, it's unfortunate. But you've seen it live. The 50 truck got spun, and a number of the top trucks all night got involved in that one.
Richmar Florist makes every day a special day, from weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
So we rejoin lap 67 of 100 here. Kendall Player is going to be the leader after the pit stop. Him and Logan Shea. Matthew Weeks going to be third with no damage. So Weeks not involved in this. Brent Jones also no damage, not involved. Tyler Fody, David Westergreen, they were in the second pack and they came away unscathed. Rishabh Kozlov gonna also come away unscathed. Jeff Green out front there. He is not the leader. It is Kendall Player. He is a lap down. He's gonna get a lap back. Again, do want to thank our sponsors, C2 Freight, Richmar Florist, and Hopegivers International. Hopegivers International, of course, being the race sponsor of this Hopegivers International 250. So can't forget to mention Old Testament Firearms, who are the series sponsor. Kendall Player are going to pick the top side. Going to try to do what ID Racing did in the heat. Try to coordinate the restart. Yeah, so on this restart, it's going to be Kendall Player, Logan Shea, Matthew Weeks, Brent Jones, Tyler Fody, David Westergren, Rishabh Kozlov, Josh Personette, Corey Abbott, and 46. And then you got Dylan Jones, Ryan Lutz, and Hank Steinmiller running at the top 13 positions. Some of these guys haven't run up this high the entire race now. So we go green flag once again. And once again, we'll go for our crank it up. It is Kendall Player out front of Logan Shea. But the top line being led by Brent Jones, he really hasn't been up at the front at all day. This is going to be what he was saying when I spoke to him was this was going to be his only truck start this season. And Matthew Weeks, of course, making his very first truck start as well. Brent Jones, I do believe, ran in the Truck Series last season, but I could be wrong on that. As Matthew Weeks now goes to the top and has no help. Take that back. He does have help from the 18 and 7 as well as the 22. But it is Kendall Player and Logan Shea leading the inside line. Brent Jones really hugging the yellow line on the bottom. Kendall Player still leading Logan Shea. But it is Matthew Weeks making the mount on the outside. Josh Personette leaves him. Everybody leaving the high side. Nobody wants to be up there right now. Now Weeks gets to the bottom in front of Tyler Fody, who, as his truck reminds everybody, is a two-time champion in the Truck Series. That's one way to brag about your championships. Put it on your truck and say, "Ha, I did that." Pass the lap truck here. For the most part, single file. You got a few trucks on the top. The 18, 7, 22, now 14 as well. Gonna help Josh Personette. Strong run by Personette up top with Matthew Weeks pushing him in that Ryan Lutz Designs number 14. They have Tyler Fody and Corey Abbott behind them, as well as Dylan Jones on the top. Brent Jones being the next truck on the bottom behind the 33 of Logan Shea, but he is about 2 truck lengths back from him. It's going to be Personette who has the lead with the Weeks pushing him. They pass the 5 and 50 on the top as they get lapped. Top line just cannot get rolling over that bottom. top line now. Gonna try to make another run. Dustin Dewar getting lapped. It is Personette who leads. The bottom line just not giving up the lead. It is Kendall Player battling with Josh Personette for the lead. Side by side. If they stay side by side the rest of this race, I certainly wouldn't complain. It'd be a highly entertaining finish if they stay this way. Now a 3-truck breakaway, or 2-truck rather breakaway, with the 94 and 33, 89 in the bottom as well, helping them out. A lot of trucks going a lap down here. Bottom side prevailing pretty strong now as they lap traffic. Top 7, all single file. It's Kendall Player in the lead, Logan Shea, Brent Jones, Josh Personette, David Westergreen, and Brent Jones goes to the top and gets left by Josh Personette. Josh Personette says, no thank you, you're not the person I want to work with. Strong run by Brent Jones, though. Showing that he is not going to sit in the back this race. Going to mount that charge up front and see what he can do. Behind him, he'll have the 36 as well as the 46, I do believe. But the 2-truck goes to the top looking, but nothing. Still only the bottom lane. As Brent Jones is still shuffling toward the back. The next opening is going to be behind 13th position Hank Steinmiller. Top line, though, does make moves. Tyler Fody, Ryan Lutz to the lead. The 2-truck on the top with 14 and 7 behind him as well. David Westergreen not going to sit back. The 36 and 40 going to renew their rivalry in these trucks, in the truck series. Hopefully this time the rivalry ends a little bit cleaner. They go side by side for the lead. Do you believe those two will be the ones to watch this season? As in the past, they've battled it out the entire season. Still the Lake Norman trucks leading this one. Of course, Lake Norman owns the 40, 36, and 2 trucks. So they have 3 horses in this top battle. At least 3 of them. So Kendall Player going to go to the top of, try to get help from Ryan Lutz to pass the 40 of Tyler Fode. Looks like that push is going to be plenty enough to get him clear of Fode, but will he drop back down? No, it's the 36 that's going to drop in front of Fode and leave the 94 high and drive with the 2 behind him. It's Ryan Lutz to the lead. Four-truck breakaway for the moment, but that top line, 14 going to lead the top. Matthew Weeks going to go to the top with Kendall Player. But can they make a run? Just under 20 to go in this Truck Series race. And this the Hopegivers 250. Still 36 and 40 that lead this. We've seen this all too much in every series. Everybody gonna try to mix this up. I do believe they need to make one more pit stop, but I could be wrong. David Westergreen up in 6th. Of course, earlier in the race, he was leading just a second pack, and now he is part of the lead pack. Top 6 run for David Westergreen in the number 2 Cat Chevrolet for Lake Norman. Of course, though, Lake Norman Motorsports leading this one 1-2 right now, 36 and the 40. Logan Shea going to mount a run to the top side with Josh Personette up top to help him. About half of the people up front can help him out. Gonna have the 18-7-94 as well. This Lake Norman boys in the bottom gonna have that run from the top, coming with the 33 and 18. So Logan Shea clears him and drops right down in front of Ryan Lutz. Logan Shea, new leader. Ryan Lutz back to the lead now. Only 15 laps left at the line. Logan Shea gonna pop to the top once more. But it's Lake Norman on the inside, 1, 2, 3. With Matthew Weeks behind them in the Pro Edge truck with Ryan Lutz design on it. But it's Ryan Lutz leading this thing in the Old Testament Firearms truck, a series sponsor. So they come to lap the 77 and 08 once more. Of course, Zishan Dura in the 08 was a huge threat at the beginning of this and is no longer a factor at the front. Oh, close with the lap trucks. Logan Shea leads now from the top, drops right down in front of Lutz once more. Ryan Lutz having none of it. Ryan Lutz wants that lead and wants to hold on to it as long as he can. Does not want anybody else to have it. Tyler Fode just pushes whoever's in front of him. No problems. Coming to the closing stage of this. Let's crank this up one more time. We come back from the crank it up. It's Tyler Fode that leads the outside line with, yep, the 36. Ryan Lutz going to push him to the lead on the inside now. Leaving Matthew Weeks out there high and dry. We're approaching 10 to go. Fode and Lutz just trying to hold on to win this one. And there's the 46 around. Looks like we're going to stay green for the moment. Close call with the leaders as well. We stay green. Stay focused on these leaders now. Looked like everybody else was able to recover in the back there. It's a 5-truck race. It is the 40, 36, 2, 54, and 63. I believe all top 5 of these guys are in the same Discord channel, talking amongst one another. Probably coordinated, trying to figure out how to get through that one. Somebody I haven't mentioned all day is Blake Barney. Blake Barney now in 10th position, the 1889 and 9 as well, trying to make a run toward the front. Try to catch these 5 guys. Of course, Kendall Player being the truck that splits them. But it is Fode, Lutz, Westergreen, Kozla, and Steinmiller that lead this. Go back to here. We see Personette leading the second pack. This guy's, of course, not so close as the top 5 are. Catch Kendall Player. Just happens to be the odd man out. These guys roughly 7 seconds, 7.5 back from the leaders. They just fly by Kendall Player. Kind of gonna duck in with them. Go back to the front. It's still Fode, Lutz, Westergreen, Kozla, and Steinmiller. Take a look back at the second pack and see how they're progressing. Does look like they might be losing time. I believe they lost roughly 2/10 that lap. Of course, there's that third-ish pack right there with the 14, 38, and 48. If they can catch these guys, more trucks, more horsepower, ideally. Jeff Green gonna duck out of that. To the front, it looks like it's gonna be these five that decide this race amongst themselves. This, the Hopegivers 250. Haney gets in the wall as he's being lapped. 46, that was the one that got spun to initiate this, what ended up being a breakaway. At this point, these guys are just keeping their foot to the floor and just hoping and praying everybody can keep it together behind them. Five laps to go here at Daytona. Take a look back at the second pack. ID Racing, the 0-4, or sorry, 00 and 9 making a run to the top. Gonna have their ID Racing teammate of the 48 as well on the bottom, Austin Beers. Brent Jones trying to stick out and maybe stop these guys from making that run. These guys are unable to make much of a run on the outside and have to duck back down, stay single file. Josh Personet's roughly just over 7.5 seconds back from Hank Steinmiller, who's running in 5th. Front hasn't changed any, and unfortunately this is, we'll take a look, there's Dylan Jones and Corey Abbott running by themselves as well, but up front it's still Lake Norman leading this one. Three to go. That second pack just not able to close. They closed 2/10, but 2/10 is just not going to be enough in 3 laps. It's going to be Vincent Isabella going to call it a day, I do believe. Front, these 5 are going to be the ones that decided amongst themselves. They all might wait till the last lap to decide who's going to win this. So we come out of 2 with 2 to go. Steinmiller trying to, say, hey, I'm willing to go to the outside. like he can pass one truck out there by himself, but just cannot make anything further happen. So you get the white flag this lap. This time by at the stripe. White flag in the air. See, Kozlaw, everybody out. This pack falling apart now. 36, 54, 63 on the top. 40 and 2 on the bottom. It's going to be decided between Lutz and Fody, it does appear. Oh, and Fody's around. It's going to be Ryan Lutz. Oh, no. No, it's not. Steinmiller going to get the win in the season opener here at Daytona. It is Hank Steinmiller who will win. Ryan Lutz second, David Westergreen third. Do believe the second pack crashed as they came to the line, but it's Brent Jones that finished fifth. But it is Hank Steinmiller who pulls the win off here at Daytona in the Hopegivers International 250. The season opener for the Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. So we see Hank Steinmiller come to the line. And he will go to the grass to burn it down. We'll grab interviews with as many of the top three as we can, with the top three if we can, and we'll see what we can do. See, Steinmiller's still burning it down. See if we can grab an interview with the top three. David Westergreen, third place, buddy. How's it feel?
I think it's showing you's muted for me.
Oh, jeez. That better? That good? One moment.
Richmar Florist makes every day a special day. From weddings and large events to that little something for any occasion. Richmar Florist has the perfect floral expression, and they're open online 24/7 at richmarflorist.com. Everywhere, every day. Richmar's 2 retail locations offer a fantastic selection of floral creations, gifts, and home decor. Book your free consultation in our showroom for your special event needs, and visit us online at richmarflorist.com today.
There we go. Now I have David Westergreen with me. David, you finished third. How's it feel, bud? How'd that happen?
Well, we kind of ran a strategy there over at Lake Norman, and it worked absolutely perfectly. Fody and I were kind of working our way back from the back of the field pretty much the whole race. That was kind of our plan, was to hang out in the back, and started pushing there, 50 laps to go or so after their big wreck, and we made it work perfectly. I had all 5 cars there lined up at the end, and I just barely touched Lutz. I hate that happened, but he was actually going to run out of fuel right as we came to the line, so he may have caused us to stack it up anyway. Turns out that the top 3 finishers were all Lake Norman points runners, so I'll definitely take third after the week I've had, man.
Yeah, and he did run out of fuel because he was leading Hank Steinmiller coming to the line, and Steinmiller got him. So he did run out of fuel coming to the tri-oval. So yeah, he definitely would have been something.
Yeah, almost got him there coming for second, but hey, we'll take third, dude. I've had such a miserable week. I've had 5 straight races where I crashed. So this is so welcome and feels so good.
Absolutely. Who you got to thank for putting that number 2 truck on track tonight?
Number 1 is Tyler Fody and Ryan Lutz, Lake Norman Motorsports. Those guys invited me in this year to kind of give them a little run, something different that I haven't done before, and we kind of used teamwork the entire race and absolutely won. Got to thank my co-host for Elite Racing Network, Rish Kosala. He ran with us the whole night and great drafting partner. Almost won it too. And then my actual sponsor in the Xfinity series, Drunk with Buds podcast, and Nathan Benham. Those guys kind of paid up our entry fee in the Xfinity series, so that I got to thank them since I got a chance to interview. Dude, this is awesome. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you did great. Hopefully your run continues, man.
Yeah, hope so. Thanks, Vic.
Absolutely. He got himself out. We get second place up in here. Got Ryan Lutz, second place finish. How'd that happen? I know you're David Westergreen said you ran out of fuel.
Yeah, I led too much in the third stint there, and I don't know, I lost track of how much fuel I should have been saving, and I didn't. And I looked down and I saw 1 lap to go, taking the white, so I kind of knew I was going to run out, but was maybe thinking we were going to get lucky, and we got lucky, really lucky, and then we ran out around, I don't know, 100 feet from the line or so.
Yeah, so it looked like you ran out coming to the tri-oval there, and that allowed Steinmiller to get the win.
Yeah, it was definitely an awesome run for our Lake Norman Motorsports guys. I'm really proud of Hank. He was a new guy for us, seeing the Westergreen, so to be mixing up with those guys for the win was definitely unreal. I know Fody didn't have any luck, but it really doesn't matter because it's part-time anyway. So if he ain't winning, he's wrecking anyway. So I didn't really feel too bad when he was wrecking, but it's all around a good night for us when we can put 1, 2, 3 and win the podiums at the end of these things.
Yeah, and you bring up Fody. Are you guys gonna renew your rivalry? I seen you guys switching up the lead quite some bit. Are you guys gonna renew that rivalry and fight for the lead once more in all these truck races this season, or what's the plan?
Yeah, I mean, I plan on running him as harder than I run anyone else. He's the guy to beat, and I think if you talk to him, he'll tell you that I'm the guy to beat. So in Cup, Xfinity, or truck, we'll definitely be running side by side a lot. And that makes for great racing. I know we always run each other clean. Sometimes we wreck or whatnot, but that just makes for good racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Who you got to thank for putting the number 36 on track tonight?
Yeah, I think Old Testament Firearms and Michael Goodman. He does a lot for me, and they came on board for another season for me to run the truck since we didn't get it done last year. All the guys at Lake Norman Motorsports. I know Ryan Barbieri had a good run. He's a new guy for us as well. Westergreen knocked it out of the park. Rich with all the help. Hank, obviously, for the win. Fody putting us all together. Just you, Vic, for taking time out of your day to do this. It's pretty cool to watch the broadcast back. I have my girlfriend's watching, so it's pretty cool. Bunch of people watching us now, so it's definitely pretty cool to come out, Sunday night and run these trucks and put on a good show for everyone.
Well, thanks for the love and support. Appreciate that, bud.
Thanks.
We'll get winner Hank Steinmiller up in here. Hank Steinmiller, you just won. Is this your first elite win? I can't remember.
Yes.
Oh, well, I mean, heck of a place to pull off the first win, huh?
It couldn't have been any better place, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
where I figured I would get it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you ran a pretty, I mean, honestly, a pretty quiet race, if we're really being quite honest with ourselves. I mean, you started 22nd and you won the race. You ran a pretty quiet race. For the most part, I can't think I mentioned you too awful much for most of the race. You had to run like mid-pack, right?
Nah, I was 42nd for probably 25 seconds off the lead for the first and second stage, and it's all about keeping the car clean for the last one. I did it in the Xfinity race and the 500, and it's all about being there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Ryan Lutz said it. He ran out of gas coming into the tri-oval. I bet you got to be thankful for that, huh?
That and I would, yeah, I would have been second behind him, but I knew he was light on gas. I wasn't sure how light. I thought he might be able to make it to the end, but that little bit of whatever happened in turn 3 and 4, I checked up a little bit too much for that. But I'm not sure if I would have kept full throttle if I wouldn't have T-boned Fody either. It was lucky the way that it happened, but
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
got it done. We were in the right place, right time.
Yeah, I mean, you only led one lap, and it was the last one, the most important one.
Only one that matters.
Exactly. Who you got to thank for putting that truck on track tonight, Hank?
We'll thank the Juicebox Pod for putting this thing on the track. Sim Helper, go check out their website for some NASCAR picks, and they got some league stuff in there for points and stats and everything. So go check them out. Thanks to the league sponsors too, C2 and all them guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for taking time, and congrats on the win.
Thank you very much.
That was Hank Steinmiller. And that was our top 3. And tonight it was a great race. It was entertaining at certain points, and admittedly, I think we can all kind of admit that things kind of get dull during these races at times. But for the most part, that was a very exciting race. My throat hurts, and that's how you know it was very exciting for me. And of course, before we head out, we got to thank our sponsors one last time. Got to thank Old Testament Firearms. Without them, this series, of course, doesn't have a sponsor. C2 Freight for being a league sponsor, Richmar Florist, and Hopegivers International and Bird Racing. Without them, none of this would be possible. This was the Hopegivers International 250 for the Elite Old Testament Firearms Truck Series. I was Vic Bloom. This was a great race. And if you enjoyed it, give this a thumbs up later on. Give it a thumbs up now. Thanks for watching. See you next time.